One, two, three. Good morning, y'all. It's Ned over My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D, over at MPD, coming at you from the bustling metropolis of Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental, the Philippines. Welcome to the livecast. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2018, the first day of the rest of our lives. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, dreamers of all ages, welcome to my weekly live cast, where I try to cover recent goings-on, respond to viewer comments, and make up exciting stories about my incredibly boring life. Now, I know live casts aren't everybody's cup of tea, but for me, they're a quick and easy way to connect with viewers. So for all the whiners talking about lazy casts and how we're all getting lame and stuff, stick a sock in it, will ya? All right, the live stream's comment section is open as always. Try to keep it civil. Try to act like gentlemen and gentle ladies. Ask questions, goof around, but just try to keep it as respectful as possible and moderately civil. If you're going to act like an ass, I'm probably going to ban you. This week I'll be covering strange bedfellows in the war against ISIS here in the Philippines, a major Philippine news outlet being ordered to shut down, responding to viewer comments and examining the differences between Goodboys, Badboys, and let's just call them Duckboys because I don't want to lose my AdSense. Speaking of AdSense, the last video I did, the karaoke video I did, where I am the king of karaoke, YouTube actually demonetized that. And it wasn't for a copyright violation. That's what I thought it was. It was probably because of my horrible singing. But I still scored a 99, and I still scored the high score that night. But first, this week's returning corporate sponsor is, once again, Chasing Your Philippine Dream, an expat guide to the Philippines. This was written by myself and two other gentlemen. Between us, we got about 36, 37 years of experience in the Philippines. It covers basically everything having to do with long-term life in the Philippines as an expatriate, covering nearly every topic. If you have questions, this is the book for you. You can get it down by clicking in the Our Book link down in the video description box. It's $10.95. I've never had a complaint about it. 450 pages of pretty good content, and remember that Cells doesn't really work on Android and iOS devices, so if you're going to order it, you're better off getting it on your laptop or PC. And also, it's got a 100% money-back guarantee. Let's make sure this live stream is actually live. Ooh, got a lot of comments. Okay. Good morning, everybody. There's a lot of comments. I can't respond to all of them. Oh. Vincent Mancini says, how good and or reliable is your internet? Right now, it's really good. Knock on wood, as the connection's probably going to go down. I got PLDT fiber optic, 50 megabit down, 50 megabit up. It's about 2,900 pesos a month, and it works really well so far. The difference between that and the DSL is just amazing. First viewer comment that I'm going to address, a gentleman named Popeye, and I think I know Popeye. I think he's got a channel of his own, and they do live casts also. And he made a comment on the beautiful gift video, Ned, you sensitive bastard, you. Yes, I am a liberal socialist progressive. I am a bit sensitive. I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I try to keep life simple. You know, if I like something or I have questions about something, I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to tell the person I like them. Or if I don't like them, I'll tell the same thing, especially after a long night at Bogart's, so you got to be careful there. LPA, a low pressure area, just moved out of our local area. It brought a lot of rain. The last 48 hours have basically been straight rain. It's been kind of infuriating. It's been kind of depressing. It sucks away my motivation. It sucks away my drive. But it seems to have moved out. We got some sunshine this morning. Finally, there's a big orange globe in the sky. I think that's the sun. And things are finally starting to dry out. I had to use my Philippines clothes dryer the last couple days, which is basically hanging your stuff up on the jalousie windows and turning the fan towards it to dry all your clothes. All right, we're going to try to get through this as quick as possible. So the first story we're going to be talking about is the Philippines SEC, and I think that's the Security and Exchange Commission, revokes Rappler's license to operate. The Securities and Exchange Commission here in the Philippines has ordered the revocation of online news site Rappler's license to operate. In a 29-page decision dated January 11, the SEC ruled that Rappler and its controlling shareholder were liable for violating the constitutional and statutory foreign equity restrictions and mass media enforceable through rules, blah, blah, blah. Basically what it says, if it's a media outlet and it's located in the Philippines, it's got to be 100% Filipino owned. The Philippines is saying that's not the case, so they did this big investigation and all this stuff. Rappler, of course, is saying they did nothing wrong, that it's 100% Filipino owned. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind is Rappler is kind of to the left, some might say. I think they're incredibly objective. I think they do amazing work. Rappler.com is actually one of my favorite sites to go to get in-depth investigation into things that are going on, such as the drug war, the confrontation down in Mindanao, and all that. And the Liberal Party in the Philippines is called the Yellows. Why do the Liberals have to be the Yellows, which is associated with cowardice and all that? I don't know, probably because we're pathetic snowflakes. So some are seeing the Senate, some senators, congressmen, and other politicians and activists are seeing this as a move against free speech and open journalism in the Philippines. Because Rappler has done a lot of articles on the drug war. And instead of just talking about the number of people killed, they actually get in there, they investigate, they talk to the family members, the surviving mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. They take photos, they show the bodies, they show the cellophane wrapped around people's head. So that's what's going on with that. Basically, Rappler is considered by Duterte supporters to be nothing more than a platform for the liberal Yellow Party. So the revocation is probably good for them. Now, Rappler.com is still in existence. The Philippine government is allowing them to appeal it. So we'll see what happens during that. The college tuition single mom assistance program, still hammering out the details on that. I'm talking to Jill. She's not going back to school until June or July. And there's actually another person I'm going to be doing something with. I still have the money in the kitty, in the donation kitty, so you don't need to send any money, no donations. I got like over $600 in there right now. So we'll deal with that as it comes. Let's go to the comments real quick. I'm trying to keep this about 30 minutes or under. Kennedy Democrat here, Davao Dawn, good to see you. Ned, what is a good place to look for a bike in the Philippines? 13 days and counting. Yes, it's cold. Oh, yeah, it was cold this morning, man. It was 73 degrees this morning. I actually had to put on a long sleeve shirt, my flannel pajama bottoms, and a hat because that was a cold. It was cold. Reds and yellows. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this rain is really sucking the life out of me, man. I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it one bit. All right, moving on to the next news topic that could possibly affect foreigners living, working, retiring, going to school, doing anything basically in the Philippines. It was recently announced that ex-Muslim rebel groups are joining in the fight against ISIS in Mindanao. Two of the largest former Muslim rebel groups in the Philippines announced last week the formation of a joint fighting unit to help the military pursue militants linked to the Islamic State and avert a siege similar to last year's 5-month battle for Marawi City. The leader of the 10,000-member Moro Islamic Liberation Front, otherwise known as MILF, and its precursor, the Moro National Liberation Front, the MNLF, said they had agreed to create a unified fighting force to take on ISIS. The teams would include fighters from both sides who would coordinate with soldiers otherwise hobbled and going after IS forces in remote areas on the island of Mindanao. The formation of the elite fighting group was decided immediately by both groups due to the serious increasing threat of IS in Mindanao. The government said that the new team would conduct joint intervention measures and share intelligence information. MILF broke away from MNLF in the late 70s over ideological differences. It signed a peace deal with government in 2014 after dropping its fight for independence. President Duterte said he believes that any initiative to bring peace to the volatile South would not work without the help of MILF and their concerted forces. So this is basically war making for strange bedfellows. The Philippine Army, the PAF, the Philippine Armed Forces, has basically been fighting against MILF and MNLF for decades. Now with the incursion of IS down in Mindanao, they're taking it seriously, so they're forming cohorts and strange bedfellows there to deal with that situation. People continue to ask me, is it safe to travel in Mindanao? Certain areas it is, certain areas it's not. I'm not an expert on it. I would recommend going to your local embassy website and checking out the local travel restrictions. Also, keep in mind that MILF, MNLF have been guilty of kidnapping people in the past, foreigners, and beheading them when the ransoms were not paid. So that stuff is still going on, and that's something you usually won't encounter in the United States or any other first world countries. Jay Trance says, Ned, very good news. You need a nice Filipina with you to share the adventure. I was sure you would find somebody, but when you decided to tell us. Anywho, congrats. Maybe we can start calling you. And yes, stay safe and happy. Thank you for that, Mr. J. Trance. And Full On Advertising says, wow, that was really nice. He's talking about the beautiful gift video. I wish somebody would do that for me. Can we clone her? To which I responded, I don't think the miracle of modern science is quite there yet. Also, in other news, as we get close to wrapping this up, Mount Mayon is ready to blow. Mount Mayon is actually it's very beautiful. It's almost a perfectly cylindrical volcano. 3 consecutive eruptions or steam blast eruptions were recorded by the Philippine Volcanology and Seismology in Mount Mayon this weekend. It first spewed ash last Saturday at 4:21 that reached 2,500 feet. It was followed by 2 eruptions yesterday and in the afternoon. Aside from the thick ash, the agency also recorded 158 rockfall events. I can only imagine that these are giant rocks and boulders thrown out by the volcano and splattering who knows where around the volcano just in the span of 2 days. Due to this, from an alert level 2, the alert status of Mount Mayon was raised to level 3. There was already a crater glow, and you might have seen it on my Facebook yesterday on the volcano summit, which signifies the growth of magma in the volcano's crater. He said it means that the volcano can possibly erupt this week. This is why the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone around the volcano is being monitored, as well as a 7-kilometer extended danger zone, or EDZ. So yeah, living in the Ring of Fire, you got the threat of super typhoons, you got earthquakes, you got volcanoes, you got mudslides, you got storm surge, you got all kinds of crazy stuff kicking out. Yeah, I was thinking about going down there this weekend. I don't know if I'll be going down though. Some things are uncertain. So yeah, looking for a bike. I don't know what kind of bike you mean. I don't know if you need a motorbike or a bicycle, but. So we got 120 people watching right now. Greetings to everybody. Trying to get through this as quickly as possible because I know people have things to do other than watch me talk about stuff on the internet. Now, of course, it's time for some free stuff. Last week's trivia question. This week's trivia question. If you want to get a free copy of my ebook, get your little email browser up, type in myphilippinedreams@gmail.com, and get ready to answer this question. Last week's trivia question, of course, there was none because I didn't have a live cast last week because life was happening and I've been on hiatus. This week's trivia question. This Toyota SUV was first deployed in the Philippines in 1976 and continued production up until the 1990s, where it was replaced by the Toyota Hilux. Considered the #1 SUV in Indonesia for decades, it is a truly ungainly looking vehicle. It actually looks like a moose, like a horse put together by a committee. And I typically refer to surviving examples of these vehicles as the Toyota Carabao. The first person to email the name of this Toyota vehicle to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com gets a free copy of my book, a $10.95 value, at any of your local book retailers. So there it is. That's the trivia question for the day. Also, there's other free stuff. I highly recommend this every time I do a live cast. If you want a really good book, and it's completely free, on life in the Philippines at the turn of the 20th century from the perspective of one of the first homicides, one of the first, I don't think he was American, I think he was actually British. Well, he came over, and there's a free copy of his book, The Great White Tribe in Philippinia. And what's interesting about reading that book is seeing, like, Dumaguete back then, because he went to Dumaguete. Dumaguete back then had a white sand beach. So some things have changed because now it's basically all sewage. But other things have really stayed the same, like a lot of stuff with the culture, a lot of the ways they do things, a lot of the way houses are built and all that, and the way animals are treated and all that too. So I thought that was really cool. Also, Patreon, if you found what my efforts to be of some value, consider supporting the ongoing efforts at patreon.com. That's www.patreon.com/Philippine Dreams. Special thanks to all patrons, past and present, including Sir Rico, Dan, Tom, Wonder, KCS, Dave H, Dale S, Sir Ahmed, Kevin F, and my last patrons, Don and Maribel. It's much appreciated. Another comment, a question coming from a viewer, Tom Bell, the mad scientist marker, on the live stream PLDT fiber optic test. He asked, I've been in Cebu for 2 years now, a long-time subscriber. Any opinions on Rapid Visa? To which I responded, great company, super customer support. I know the owner and the son, and they are genuinely nice people. If you are looking to get a fiancé visa, any type of visa, I highly recommend rapidvisa.com. I get no kickbacks. I have no affiliation with them like that to get any kind of monetary reparation out of this or compensation. But they're genuinely nice people. I've met both of them. They're doing the right thing, and their business model is based on word of mouth. It's based on referral. And their success rate is like 99.6% or something. It's ridiculously high. So yeah, if you're looking for any questions, or if you're looking to get the process done for you, because it can sometimes be a little complicated, not to say convoluted, definitely check out rapidvisa.com. The US dollar is at 50.46. It's down a little bit from my last live stream. I think it was 50.56. But it's a lot better because when I first got here, it was like 44. So the exchange rate is doing good. The Filipino cultural topic of the week, and then we'll go to comments from the live stream. Actually, let's go to those right now. Make sure see if anybody's got any questions. Elmar, it was Tagalog. Yeah, Sinulog is coming to Cebu this weekend. It's going to be quite busy. It's going to be a madhouse. I try to stay away from fiestas because there's just too many people. Oosh. Sasha, no, it's not the Land Cruiser. It's not the Toyota Land Cruiser. This thing, the first time I saw this Toyota model, I was like, this is the most bizarre look. It looks like a cross between an SUV and a Volkswagen thing. And like I said, when I see it, I call it the Toyota Carabao, because there's still a good number of the models still in existence, and it's still pretty popular here. Okay, let's get into, finally, Good Boy, Bad Boy, and let's call them Duckboys so I don't lose my monetization. I'm losing it anyways. I never get these live streams monetized. They never monetize them for some reason. So basically, Good Boy is somebody that a girl would like to bring home to the parents, somebody that they'd like to have a long-term relationship with. He's compassionate, he's caring, he's loyal, he's kind. He's all those qualities that somebody wants in something long-standing, and that they, like I said, want to bring home to their family. Bad Boy, on the other hand, is more of like a gangster. It's like an standby. It's like he's not working, he's just kind of hanging out. Sometimes causing some trouble. He might have some tattoos, maybe an earring, maybe he's got his hair dyed that strange russet color that they sometimes dye it. And it's not somebody that they'd want to bring home to their parents or have a long-term relationship, but bad boys, I guess, can be a lot of fun. And some people are just attracted to bad boys. On the last end of the spectrum is the Duck Boy. And if you actually type in Philippines Duck Boy, but not actually duck, you know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of articles talking about Duck Boys in the Philippines, and it's really amusing because I'm actually guilty of a few of them, even though I'm not a Duck Boy. But what was cool about it is when I was dating, there was a couple people, when I was seeing somebody, there was a couple of people who were referring to me as Good Boy. Oh, Ned, you're such a good boy. You're a good boy. And in my context, from my perspective, usually you say that to a dog. It's like, oh, you're such a good boy. Angel's such a good boy. Oh, you're a good boy. So it's kind of weird. So finally, after the second person referred to me as a good boy, I was like, what is a good boy? What does this mean? And they explained it to me, and it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, I'm a good boy. And so that's kind of neat. So when you hear these phrases, and usually it's amongst the younger generation. I don't think it's used as much like with older folks, like over 60 or something. I think it's a recent addition to the Filipino culture. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about good boys, they're talking about bad boys, and they're talking about duck boys. And that's what they'll literally call them. You'll hear Filipinas, even like nice Filipinas, all of a sudden come out with, oh, just ignore him. He's a duck boy. I know all about him. And I'll be like, what? Huh? So that's basically life in the fast lane. Let's see where we are time-wise. Oh, cool. We're good on time. La 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 la. Oh, you saw it? Okay, this one is Black American Expat. Thank you, sir. He said this one was monetized. I saw an ad when I logged on. Rocky Whitman says, is there a good resource for learning Cebuano? Bisaya. Yeah, there actually is. There's a couple of old Peace Corps PDF files that you can find online. I might even have some on my website under the tag free stuff or good stuff. And although the Peace Corps one is like 20 years old, so a lot of the stuff is what they now consider deep Bisaya or deep Cebuano. And some of those terms aren't actually used anymore because the language, Bisaya at least, is always moving forward. It's always advancing. Unlike English here, which basically is still stuck in the 50s. Will you come fetch me? Are you going to the disco? Stuff like that. Suitor and all that. Which is cute. I like that stuff. Martin Agnew, what's up, brother? Long time no see. And there's all kinds of fun stuff. Yes, David Pike, Bruce Bogan, you brought up a good point. David Pike, according to Johnny Warrior, there is an American guy at Ayala Mall that is the go-to guy for military courtesy visas. Yeah, if you're looking for a military courtesy visa, you can actually contact the embassy in Manila, and they will tell you who the latest liaison is in Cebu, and they'll actually assist you with that process. They'll assign you somebody, and they'll pay them to actually help you and guide you through the process. And the way things seem to be going lately, it looks like I'll be doing that this year when I go back to the U.S. I'll be doing the stuff I need to do to get my military courtesy visa, because my other visa options seem to be diminishing. Philippines info for you says, Ned, any plans to visit Camigan or Siargao? Both are beautiful. Yes, absolutely. I want to do some traveling. Some things are up in the air right now, so I don't know what's going on, but hopefully you'll find out soon. Scott Parnell says, ha ha ha, I have a Duckboy hat. I bet you they do have Duckboy hats. Did you toss them a bone? But I'll tell you what, no, I didn't. But I tossed Angel a bone this morning just to shut her up, because she's been getting really crazy, because I think she's going into heat again, and all the boy dogs are lined up, all her suitors are lined up on the outside of the gate, and she's going crazy. Martin Agnew says, is Angel trans? I'm not really sure. I never had the discussion with her. But all I know is her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Yep, Martin Agnew, definitely see you in May. Hopefully I will still be here. I'm probably going back to the U.S. at some point. Got 140 people watching. Once again, I just wanted to thank everybody, the short-time viewers and the long-time viewers. Some people have been subbed to me for years. For all your positive support, for all the comments, for all the criticisms that were constructive, for trying to help me make this channel better and correct. And what's good is, again, I'm clueless about a lot of stuff. Don't ever think for a minute that I actually know what I'm talking about. So when people come and they private message me, or they just respond to they leave comments on the video or on my website, correcting the information that I'm putting out, I really appreciate that. As for the grammar Nazis, that's cool too, man, because that's actually what I do as a job, writing content. So sometimes the content that I'm writing for myself isn't of the same quality of the content that I have to write for somebody else, because I'm being compensated for that. So, Trayvon Zimmerman, creepers. Trayvon Zimmerman asks, no spaying the aso. Aso is Tagalog for dog. Bisaya, it's iro. Yeah, they have spaying here. But to get Angel on a tricycle and drag her down to the public market and hope that the place is actually open, Angel's not too crazy about tricycles. So somebody would probably get hurt. Yeah, Randall Brown says not worth getting her fixed. Yeah, she sneaks out sometimes and runs past, especially when I'm pushing the scooter out the gate. She's smart. She's not dumb. Well, she is pretty dumb, but so she'll scamper out sometimes and get out. Sometimes she comes back beat up, limping, bloody, because she likes to get in fights and she can't fight. Grammar, alt, right. Oh, as far as books I'm reading, right now I'm reading The Cider House Rules by John Irving. I've been on a John Irving kick. I reread A Prayer for Owen Meany. I reread last night on Stitch River or Switch River. And now I'm reading my second favorite John Irving book, The Cider House Rules. I'm also reading Fire and Fury about the Donald Trump White House, which is an interesting read. And it's a good thing I'm alternating between Cider House Rules and Fire and the Fury. Because if you read Fire and the Fury all in one sitting, it's just way too depressing. And you're starting to break out the ice and the razor blades. So that's what I'm doing. I've also got somebody turned me on to Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. It's a mini-series. It's similar to Black Mirror. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but it's quite good. I like it. I like it a lot. And I also have a bunch of movies that I downloaded that I haven't seen yet, because I'm waiting on the right moment to do that. Did I say white moment? White moment to do that. K1 is taking a long time right now. Scott Parnell says that the K1 is taking a long time right now. Yeah, I can understand why. There's all kinds of stuff going on in immigration. Iggy says, I was here at your 5,000th sub. Yeah, I almost got 25,000 now. But it's not all about the subs. As PV is want to remind us all, it's not about the subs. It's about the number of views you can get by talking shit about other people. Black Crow Walking says Fire and Fury is BS. Yeah, I'm sure everything in there is just made up. Nerf C says, how do I get to a poker game when I am in Dumaguete? That's quite easy. There's actually a couple of resto bars here that play poker quite a bit. I don't know if it's officially sanctioned or not, but they're pretty serious about it, and you can usually find them there in the afternoons. If you're actually in Dumaguete, you can just private message me, and I'll tell you where those places are, because I just don't want to say it out loud. So yeah, if you're looking to play poker. Also, one thing I got to reiterate one more time as we're getting on to 27 minutes. If you're retired and you're coming to the Philippines, you got to make sure you have something to do. You got to be passionate about something. You got to have hobbies. You got to have things that you can do to fill the time. Because a lot of people dream about coming to the Philippines, and then once they get here, the sudden realization occurs to them that, other than going around and exploring and traveling around and stuff, sometimes there's not a whole lot to do. So you got to have something you're passionate about. You got to have something to fill those empty hours. That's something I address in the book, whether it's getting into photography, learning guitar, having your PS4 like I do. That's how I wake up every morning. I play an hour of gaming, drink my coffee to wake up. Getting involved in charitable events, charitable programs, volunteering. I know a bunch of guys in Dumaguete in particular that are volunteering at some of the local universities. And they have to go through the process of getting the work permit through the university, because those are considered jobs that could go to a Filipino. So you got to make sure you do that right, because if you don't, and somebody gets jealous that you're volunteering even though you're not getting paid at the university, bad things can happen. But I know a number of guys doing that. Also, in Dumaguete, we got the Expat Softball League. If I had any athletic skills, I'd probably involve myself in that, but I don't, and I want to go out there and completely embarrass myself. But there are things to be involved in: snorkeling, diving, taking care of yourself, physically, going to the gym, going swimming, Tevez Aqua Center. So you got to have things like that to do. Otherwise, you're going to get disillusioned, you're going to get lonely, and you're going to get sad, and bad things are going to happen. And you're going to find yourself at red tables up in Valencia at 10 a.m. in the morning starting to slam Pilsens. I don't know how those guys do it. I really don't. Ugh. Is it true rabies shots are free here? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if they are free or not. But yes, about the military courtesy, the SRRV is right now, the military courtesy one is the best deal you can get. The processing fee isn't that expensive. The deposit you have to put down is like $1,500 US, and it's a permanent visa. You never have to get it renewed. You have to renew, I think, the ACR card every year or every 2 years. It's like $10. something like that. So it's by far, it's a permanent resident visa. So basically, you're considered a permanent resident here. You don't have to go to BI anymore. And if you're going to be here long term and you're ex-military, I highly recommend it. Yeah, Black American Expat says, I'm going to join a bowling team here. Yeah, Dumaguete had a bowling alley, but it seems to have been closed for like the last, I don't know, 4 years that I've been here. Yeah. All right. So that's basically it. Thanks again to everyone for taking part in this morning's live cast, live stream. I got to go cancel a reservation, I guess. And, but I hope you're all well. This isn't about me. It's about you. It's about the viewer. It's about my fellow dreamers. I hope you're all well. I hope things are good, and I hope things continue to be good. Thanks again to the 150 people that are watching. Take care, be well, and I'm going to try to put out some more content later this week once my motivation level returns, as long as the sun stays out. This is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams. Peace out, and take care. All right. Thanks to PLDT for being able to upload this at 720p. Yay.